Hi, just a video I wanted to make about present day miracles, angels, gods, and supernatural beings that may be alive and still exist among us in the community today, and why these things aren't generally known to the public. So a lot of miracles and things that are happening today are not known because lots of videos that you see on the internet and things like that of miracles and things like that, people say they're fake or they're hoaxes and things like that. So even though we have cameras everywhere, people are recording these things, people are saying that it's fake or it's some sort of trickery. So that's one reason. Another reason is because people that are very knowledgeable and know more than the common man, they don't necessarily are able to discuss certain things that are happening around them that they would deem as being miracles openly with the general public for whatever reason. I'll give you an example of something that someone like that is more knowledgeable than the common person might know. So a person knowledgeable in chemistry knows for 110% certainty that a certain type of poison should kill someone, and they give it to someone or administer it to them in their food or whatever, and they don't die. It doesn't even faze them, which is kind of the case in the case of Rasputin, and who was a Russian priest who was reportedly given cyanide and many other things in his food. It didn't faze him or kill him or even affect him. And they gave it a lot of time, they gave him more, but that was historically recorded. That's what their claim was. Also, a person like the Buddha who begs for food day to day, that's probably his mortal form. He probably has an angelic or godlike form on earth. But as a mortal, he was probably, I would say, knowing human behavior, and a person that walks away from their kingdom, is a prince, is teaching people about religion, trying to teach them, and just has a bowl in their hand and is begging for food day to day. A person knowledgeable in chemistry might say, I'll just put this guy out of his misery and put some type of poison in his bowl. That'll be that, because he's just talks about religion all the time, or I don't want to hear this stuff. But the Buddha lived till an old age, died of old age, and he never died from being poisoned, which I would say is pretty rare for people that in India. There was probably people knowledgeable in chemistry at that time. And he amassed a great amount of followers. A great amount of people started paying attention to him, following him for whatever reason. And we can assume that he was most likely, it's very possible he was immune to poison. Someone getting that much attention, amassing that many followers, and doesn't have the means to provide food for themselves, and a prince that walked away from their kingdom. So so that's an example of people that know more than the common man, that are certain that miracles are still being performed today, but they can't openly discuss it. So that's another scenario. Now, people like to think that that because someone is in their mortal form, that's their form forever. But that's not the case. It's just because someone's immune to poison doesn't mean that they're stuck being human forever. Everything is preordained. Every mortal will be judged and will die on a given day. Everything's preordained. Everyone that is born human will die after a certain amount of time. That's for certain. But when will they die? Everyone wants this person dead. They're not dead yet. Why isn't he dead? Well, that's the thing. When their time comes, their time will come. So, and that's just written down in the books, and that's just how it works. When your time comes, it will come. So, a lot of people say, well, what makes these people so special? Well, these are harder concepts to grasp about religion, and it's a lot about what turns people off from religion. The Buddha's quote is saying that the cause of suffering is existence. That you shouldn't form attachment to anything, and and Jesus' quote is saying that a person who hates their life will keep it for an eternity, and a person who loves their life will lose it. A person who loves their life will lose it, and a person that hates their life will keep it for an eternity. And these aren't very easy concepts to grasp, But the thing is, when you're a good person or when you try to live a certain way, as a mortal, and you try your best to love and help others, and you're just trying your best to go through life, oftentimes it does inflict a great amount of suffering on your part to do these things and try to help people. And it's difficult to understand these concepts, but suffering is part of life. Even in heaven, there's forms of suffering. Like sometimes you might be doing something, and it's not like you can't have happiness without a little bit of suffering every now and then. So I just don't know how to explain these difficult concepts that turn people off from religion, but it's true. So if you're wondering how do these people be immune to poison, or how could they be immune to poison and not die, it's a form of black. It's black magic. Like if you don't enjoy life necessarily, or you just, as a person that is about to die and go to heaven, that person isn't gonna, the forces that rule the universe, that person isn't gonna be let go from this, depart from this world. And a person that loves life and is just does whatever they want, whenever they want, and when they die, they'll probably go to hell. That person can die, like, from whatever. That person will die very easily, and that's just the way that the laws work. That's just the way that the laws of nature work. Someone that's suicidal, doesn't enjoy life, lives forever. Someone that loves life and is evil, that person will die right instantly. That's just the way it works. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to explain it, but that's just the way it works. So, those are difficult concepts to explain. I didn't make the rules. I wish it didn't work that way, but that's just how it works. Now, and that's karma. Karma is very complex, but that's karma in a small nutshell. When I was staying at Riverview, one of the people that attended to me, a woman by the name of Jill Calder, a big tree fell on her house and crushed her to death while she was laying in bed sleeping. And it was investigated. People investigated this incident, and they said it was an act of God, and the wind blew that tree down, and it fell through their home, and it crushed her to death like a grape. And I wish that there was that these things weren't happening, but I'm just here to tell you that there's a law and a force that is real, and it takes effect in your life, and I wish it didn't work this way. I mean, but that's just the way it works. Call me evil, call me the bad guy for saying these things, but I didn't make the universe this way. That's just the way it works. I wish you could have your cake and eat it too, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So this video is just to discuss some of the more difficult concepts and some of the more difficult lines that turn people away from religion, but it's actually true. And cover some of the things that may be happening in the community today, and kind of just open your eyes to things that may be happening that people aren't generally aware of but are still happening today. So be kind to each other. Try your best to be a good person, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.